I was at a club with Tracy once in Nairobi, and some girl came up to me while I was getting a drink, and she asked me if I wanted to dance with her. And I told her, I was like, listen, I'm flattered, you're very cute, but your life is in danger. Okay?
Why would you say that you're very cute?
What? I didn't say that. She can come to Africa for a long weekend from Europe. You can leave on a Thursday, be back by Monday, in theory, if you really want it. Someone who's not doing that, someone who's just like chatting, whatever, I'm telling you, they're a loser behind a phone who looks nothing like their photos, who's like masturbating to the attention that he's getting on these online apps, and is not serious and is probably never going to come. Don't put lots of expectations and saying, my man's got to do this, my man's got to do that. Because I'll tell you the truth, is that men with options, men with real options, men with money, men with like features, won't put up with that shit.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are back in Nairobi, back to the cold weather. I mean, Nairobi.
The great weather.
Mombasa and Diani was extremely hot.
Horribly hot.
Yeah, especially Diani was extremely hot. But anyways, I don't like cold weather. But
it's not cold. It's perfect inside.
It's cold.
It's a pleasant little breeze.
I mean, it's raining, but not so much. But then I saw it's cold. I'm not used to Nairobi.
It rained a little bit, tiny drizzle.
I know, but still cold. And kind of, I'm not used to cold weathers. I'm not used to Nairobi.
Yes, you are. You're from Kisii.
Yeah, but I didn't grow up in Kisii.
You lived there for years.
For 2
years, okay.
Yeah. But all my life I've been like in Mombasa. It's a different weather in Mombasa. Anyway, I have to adjust to it. Not so extremely cold I can complain to comparing to people who live at -degrees in, I don't know, Germany or Denmark or Russia or something.
Sadness. So sad to be a poor little Dane. Sad little Dutchling.
How will you say that?
I don't know.
Anyway guys, so back to another amazing content, and today guess what, we're having a sit down. I know you love sit downs with this guy here.
We've only done one.
We've only done one.
Maybe 2.
And no, we did one.
We did one also in Cape Town with Claude Joseph and Minhawi.
Oh yeah, we did that too. But yeah, so yet again here again. So we are here to today's topic. It's an interesting topic, I can say, what people have been wanting to hear. I mean, like, you guys.
I say it?
Yes.
African ladies. We're gonna talk today about how to get the foreign man of your dreams.
Yeah, especially a white man. You know, a lot of people have been coming to me on my DMs and even Instagram, all over the platforms. They're asking me, how did you meet your man? I mean, what should I do? You know, and you're here. I'm not saying we are experts, you know, but the little
I'm an expert. being a foreign white-ish man, you know.
But the little things we know about dating and how to, you know, to get the man of your dreams.
Intercultural dating, interracial dating.
Exactly, we are here to help.
Once you go black, you never go back, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have gone back before, but since I met her, I'm not going back, but it's obviously because of her.
You dated
a
black woman before.
I dated a black woman before.
But it wasn't pure black. Sure, you know, there's like Black American, and there's like
I've never dated a black American. I've never dated a black American.
Who are you dating?
I dated a couple of Ethiopian girls in Israel.
Oh, okay, those are considered Israelis.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, still, you haven't met, like, you know, pure black Jews.
Well, why don't we start? Well, why don't we start with the following? Okay. Why is it good or not good for a black African woman living in Africa to want to meet a foreign man? Why would this even be a consideration? Okay, why is this something someone even aspires to even wants?
Okay, for me, I can say, if you ask me that question, for me, I can say it's personal interest. The people who just are attracted to white men compared to black men. That's one thing. Another thing, it's I know, for me, I would say that.
I don't know if it's so much about focusing on like whether or not a black woman is attracted to a white man. No, I think it's more just, first of all, it's very normal, of course, to be attracted to something perceived as being exotic, just kind of different from yourself. You know, I mean, many people, of course, when they meet someone of like a different, you know, race or background, etc., can be kind of like, oh wow, like, it's very unique. People are always attracted to something kind of new, and you know, not everybody wants to, be with someone who looks like their brother or sister or something. Another thing is this, and we can definitely kind of let the cat out of the bag. There's definitely an association in Africa with, you date like a foreigner or white man, either him having, more financial resources, coming from like a different culture that maybe promotes greater equality in terms of a romantic relationship, where a woman has got more standing and more of a say than you could say in a traditional African relationship. This is obviously not true across the board whatsoever, but these are kinds of some generalizations or stereotypes people have. And there is, and the truth is this, is that one of the things that's kind of unique about a relationship between really any African of either gender and any person of, let's say, let's not call it white, because it's not really about being white, okay? It's about being like a Westerner, you could say. It's about Westerners, someone from Europe or North America or something like that. It could be a Black American. It could be someone who's Hispanic. It could be someone who's Asian. It could be anything, because one of the things that actually makes it really easy for, you could say, an African person to be with another person is the fact that you have a common language. Most people in those countries speak at least some degree of English. And there's also, people in Africa are much more attuned, I think, to Western culture than people, let's say, like, I'll give you guys an example. Like, if you're a white American man who meets like a Chinese woman, okay, maybe you went to China for a trip, maybe you're living there for a little bit, there are a lot of big cultural and language gaps between, I would say, East Asians and, white Americans or Europeans that are actually much less between Africans. And, like, for example, one of the reasons why I think our relationship works so well is that even though, I'm a nice originally American boy from Cincinnati, Ohio, and she's just like small town girl from Kisii, Mombasa, whatever. I'm joking around now. She's like, we really come from, like, obviously, the last time we probably had like a common ancestor was probably over 45,000 years ago. Okay,
even more than that.
Yeah. We have, like, our families have zero. We have nothing in common, genetically whatsoever, from like a very, very long time ago. But we do come from some very similar common cultures, because Tracy, is mostly a native English speaker. I'm a native English speaker, Northwestern culture. We have, somewhat similar, religious background as well. And that actually made, so when I'm with Tracy, I think to myself, I'm with someone who I feel like just really fits me. And I don't feel like there's such a huge cultural gap. But let's cut to the chase, okay? Let's talk about what people really want. What people really want to know is this. What kind of foreign guy should I go for?
What should I do? What should I do?
How do you get them? How do you have like a good experience as well? Now,
okay. So here's the thing, okay? We are not trying to, ladies, listen. We're not trying to take you out of, if you love black men, it's good.
I love black men.
And for me, I'm trying to hear advice because I'm married to a white man, so I'm trying to.
Hey, I'm kind of copper now. Okay?
so I'm trying to give you the tips, or what steps did you go through, and until
Now, now listen. There are two kinds of guys who are you could say open to a relationship with an African woman. Okay, one guy is just looking for a hookup, who maybe is looking for an exotic experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, who maybe wants to have a sugar baby, or like, kind of like a girlfriend who doesn't kind of ask too many questions. That's kind of the negative stereotype of white men coming to Africa. And there's a reason for the stereotype, because there are a lot of guys like that. You have, it's no lie that you go to, the beaches of Kenya and you see a lot older white men with like very, very young, pretty black women. But that's not exclusive, of course. And there's obviously there's that, and there's also guys who are more open to a longer term relationship.
Yeah.
You also have, of course, like, white men who are living in Africa for various reasons, who are working here, studying, working for organizations or companies, and and you also have people overseas who maybe are interested in like some type of long distance, dating relationship, because for whatever reason they didn't find love in their own country, and maybe they are particularly attracted to black women. And if you're from Denmark or the Netherlands, like, there isn't a big selection of black women. There's some black women there, shout out to my Suriname girls. But Suriname is a Dutch colony, okay?
Oh, right, okay.
In South America, so they've got a lot of, black people there.
Okay.
So we want to do is kind of give some tips to you African ladies on what to do to meet a guy how to get the right guy, and how to develop a good long-term relationship with someone. Okay. Why don't we start with like, how does one meet a guy?
Exactly.
How does one meet a guy?
Where can you meet this guy? Okay, so
Online. That's about it.
But online you can still meet someone physically, maybe on a social event, or maybe those people who love to go clubbing and all that stuff.
Here's the reality: if you're in a social circle, I mean, if
or
you're
on a vacation,
now we're gonna listen. If you're in a social circle and you're from an African country and you live in a major city, like you live in Dar es Salaam, you live in Nairobi, you live in Kampala, and you're involved in like a social circle where you have access to meeting a lot of international people in general, both guys and girls, of course your chances are greatly increased. But if you're a quote unquote normal person living a normal life where you go to work, you have a commute, you're tired at the end of the day, you're not like always at social events or at the club or something like that, the truth is that meeting
chances
someone on a dating app
yeah.
is much greater.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reason for that is the following. I can tell you as a white man specifically is that if I'm at a club in Africa with a couple of my buddies, it actually can be very difficult to meet a white guy at a club. It's not because you can't like go up and talk to someone, but because typically speaking in like major African cities, if I'm going to a club and like if there's like an African woman who's very, very forward with me and like really kind of wants to get to know me, I'm probably going to assume she's a prostitute.
What?
Absolutely.
No.
Because there are tons of prostitutes at these clubs.
Okay,
That's
fine.
exactly
Yeah.
But
But what if when you approach the girl?
What's that? One of the things that happens.
Okay, I know. Approaching someone, in person is way difficult.
No. It's not about difficulty. It's just I'll tell you that one thing that happens that can kind of make any person. This goes for a woman as well. It's not just an issue of like a white man. It can be a white woman. Is that when you are being a white man in Africa, you're considered exotic, of course, because there are a few of you. You get noticed everywhere you go. People make comments. People this. You're used to so much attention, and so it's different from me being in my country. No, it's different from me being in my country where I'm just like a normal person and don't get too much attention. So one of the challenges in a club is that like when I'm in a club, I do get a lot of attention. And I feel like a chick, to be honest. I feel like a woman, And so it's not that I don't want to go up.
The men who love that attention.
You do love that. I'm not saying that. It's not about like or dislike. What it is that, and the truth is this. I'm not saying exclusively. There have been, some very, very nice women who have come up to me in clubs and everything who, if I wasn't already married and knew that they were their lives would be in danger if my wife saw them trying to approach me. I was at a club with Tracy once in Nairobi, and some girl came up to me while I was getting a drink. And she asked me if I wanted to dance with her. And I told her, I was like, listen, I'm flattered. You're very cute, but your life is in danger. Okay?
Why would you say that you're very cute?
What? I didn't say that. Shit. Your life is in danger. Whatever. So here now, the main place, of course, where it's probably most likely to meet someone, meet like a guy in a safe place, like listen, you don't want to just go to the club all the time. Also, it's like uncomfortable. It's loud. One of the things about clubs is that they're designed to make it difficult for people to talk to each other, so that you actually drink more alcohol. It's difficult. If you're at a club where like there's loud music playing. I mean, I'm not saying I've never been shy about like approaching someone in the club, but like the truth is, if the music is blaring and I can't hear myself think, I'm probably just gonna sit on the couch and fall asleep.
That's you.
Yeah,
the people who love being in
you're gonna be like, hey, you look cute. Like, where are you from?
What?
And you're like, what? Huh? Yeah, I study university. You're like, oh, you're a barber? Like, oh, okay. Like, this is really difficult.
This is huge numbers.
And then the truth is this. But obviously, everyone knows that. Like, look, when people at clubs, people might be more interested in like one night stands. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about.
That's not a real deal now.
The real deal is this.
This is the real deal. Okay, fine. So
what is the real deal?
For me, the real deal now, I'm talking about online dating. That's where
that's what
we know. That's what we know, okay? You can meet people, of course, not only clubs, you can meet people during gyms and wherever. You can meet people anywhere, But then we're talking about the online platform.
No, you can't. You can't meet people everywhere.
We're talking about the online platform. If you ask me, okay. There's this one time when I was like in almost like I'm this type of a person that, can I say, I'm a little bit introvert. Michael doesn't doesn't agree with me. Doesn't agree with me when I say I'm an introvert. But I'm a little bit. I'm not saying like very introvert.
She is this. She is a pretty girl who knows that she can find her husband just by sitting in her bed in her underpants, just flipping on their phone. She doesn't have to go outside and do anything.
I didn't
She can
going
sit in bed.
outside.
She can lie in bed, not move all day, have French fries on her right, burgers on her left, soda pop, and her phone, TV, computer, whatever, and manage her whole life without doing anything except to go to the bathroom.
I mean, like, I'm not. I'm that kind of a person that, I don't like going out. Like, okay, I'm a social person. I'm not saying I'm not social. I'm not a social person. But then, me finding myself just, I'm out there in clubs every weekend. No, I'm not that kind of a person. I'll just sit at home and watch TV or something. Be boring alone. I'm such a boring person.
Because
by the way.
clubs are boring.
So,
boring.
so for me, the only way I could meet someone was on dating apps. That was the only way. Okay, and of course, when I had the first dating site I had was Tinder. It's very common. It's like everywhere. So I downloaded Tinder and I was there, and the kind of people I was meeting there. I mean, I'm not saying that you cannot meet someone on Tinder. I have a friend of mine who met her a boyfriend on Tinder, and now they're living well. She moved to Germany and all that. Shout out to you, Maxi. But then I'm talking about, the kind of people, my experience, the kind of people I was meeting on Tinder. Yo, hey, people just are there for hookups. Those are the kind of people I was meeting there.
But the guys you're meeting weren't even in the country. So what does that mean to hook up? When are you going to hook up? 6 months from now? What bunch of losers?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Okay, let's get into the rules. Let's get into the rules of like what to look for and what not to look for with a guy and what you should do yourself. Okay. First thing is this. Okay. If you're trying to match with, like, let's say a white guy if he's in the country, that's one thing. That's great because you can arrange a meeting like within like a few days or a week, or, something like that. Okay. First of all, it's this: if you're meeting a white guy in the country, okay, and like let's say you're in Mombasa and he's in Nairobi, and you guys match and you're chatting and it's going really well. If he is not willing to come and meet you in person within 2 or 3 weeks tops,
that is not going anywhere.
He's a loser. I'll tell you this: if you match with a guy online who is in a different country, who maybe is just kind of sussing things out and wanting to meet a girl. No. I'll tell you this: I'll tell you this, ladies. Men in European countries in particular, they get a lot of vacation days. Okay? People in Germany.
What kind of a job
no,
you're doing?
they all do. It's all by law. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, fine.
Everyone in Germany gets 5 weeks of vacation. 5 weeks. That's 25 vacation
That's only
days.
Germany. What about other countries?
They're all the same in Europe. They're all the same.
Okay, what about US?
US is less, but they still get a bunch. No, US is also more complicated because it's also much further, much more expensive to come. So, a guy in Germany or Denmark or the UK, I mean, they have substantial amounts of vacation days. Okay, everybody does. That's by law. Okay, and that's not even including days off for things like Christmas or Easter. Other kinds of national holidays they have, bank holidays. Like, I'm telling you this: if you're with a guy online who's made himself available to women in Africa because he's interested in African women, and he's interested in an African woman. He's interested maybe, coming to Africa in theory at some point in the future. I'm telling you, if he doesn't make plans to come within 2 or 3 months, that's enough time to say, I'm going to go for you can come to Africa for a long weekend from Europe. You can leave on a Thursday, be back by Monday, in theory, if you really want it. Someone who's not doing that, someone who's just like chatting, whatever, I'm telling you, they're a loser behind a phone who looks nothing like their photos, who's like masturbating to the attention that he's getting on these online apps, and is not serious and is probably never going to come. Don't tell me, Mr. Denmark, that it's going to take you 8 months to make like a trip to Mombasa. You're a loser. Okay? Ladies, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on chatting. I'm telling you, I'm not saying a guy like that can just pick up and come like the next week. I realize that. But if he's already interested in a relationship with an African woman, he's already in the back of his mind thinking about when he can come. And he doesn't have to come for a first visit, just to kind of see. He doesn't have to come for, months on end. Not everyone can do what I can do. Okay?
It's true.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be like Mike. Okay? So anyway, don't waste your time, ladies.
But I kind of disagree with you because, okay, partly what you're saying is true. I mean, if someone doesn't have plans to come and see you, then don't waste your time with this person. But then I have people who have been I hear of stories of people who they have been dating online for months, for over 6 months. And then they met with this guy and then they later got married.
Look, the exception doesn't disprove the rule. Just because this one time something happened doesn't mean that just like this one time a big coincidence happened and the
Right.
plane that was going to crash and hit the water, not everyone died. Guess what? Wow. But most of the time when a plane crashes and hits the water, everybody dies. So they're not, listen, I'm not saying there aren't exceptional circumstances. Maybe the guy has kids, maybe he has other kinds of obligations, maybe finances are tight, I don't know. But my point is this, in this day and age, and also we live in an age of remote work where a lot of people can kind of at least tell their boss, unless they're a blue collar worker, like a plumber, something. If they're like working from a computer, just about everybody now in a white country, a Western country, can tell their boss, hey, do you mind if I like go work remotely for a week?
Right.
Especially if you're on a similar time zone, like you can fly from, Frankfurt to Nairobi in like 6 hours. Okay, it's really not that crazy. So if a man is basically delaying meeting you and doesn't have any
That's
real
a red
practice,
flag.
I'm telling you, he's talking to other ladies and he's not even sure what he's doing.
Yeah, it's kind of trying to see who is who.
The truth is this: you will meet men who are just doing it because they fetishize black women. You will. You're also going to meet men who are really nice guys, maybe for whatever reason are interested or whatever. I mean, I can tell you this: there's a lot of great reasons to be with an African woman besides their beauty. Okay, African women, unlike I would say a lot of women in Western countries, tend to be more open, go with the flow, easygoing, really fun to be around. They definitely, I would say, take care of their men, really well. There are a lot of really great things. I mean, the reason I'm with Tracy is not her beauty. Her beauty was the first thing that got my attention, but it's not the reason I wanted to marry her. It's not, because even though she gets more beautiful every day to me, like the reason she's more beautiful is because we have such a great relationship. So in order for you not to get hurt and for you not to waste your time, like talk to the guy, talk very openly with the guy as well about, listen, like, you're open to meeting, you understand that you don't really know each other until you meet in person. There's no,
Right.
one of the big problems I think and mistakes that women make is they put too much pressure on a guy too early on before you really even know each other. You don't know each other. You're just like a person behind a screen.
You're strangers.
Even if you've done video calls, you're still total strangers.
Yeah.
Nothing is clear until because when you meet in person, you're going to know what they smell like. You're going to know, you're going to notice all different kinds of little affects that are going to make you fall in love with them, or make you repulsed. Nothing means anything until you've met in person. And that's the reality, is that when you tell a guy, like, you don't want to know their intentions, all this stuff, their intention first is probably just to like meet you, see if they have a good time, that they enjoy talking to you, like.
On to the next tip, okay?
Right, what's the next
okay,
tip?
That was a very big tip and well elaborated. Well, I didn't finish on the dating sites. Well, I mean, there are tons of dating sites, but for me, I can tell you the ones that I was meeting, the ones that kind of serious.
They're all the same.
You can meet a serious person. For me, really was Bumble, and where I met Mike and OkCupid.
We met on Bumble because I was banned from Tinder. Tinder thought I got to Kenya and I downloaded Tinder. And Tinder, because I guess I've had a Tinder profile in my past, they assumed I was a fake profile, so they blocked me forever. They blocked me forever. They thought I was a fake profile.
They kind of
But here's the truth when it comes to like, where's the best app to meet a serious guy? Where can I meet a serious? The truth is this. You know what, ladies? When I came to Africa, I wasn't a serious guy. I was not looking for a wife when I came to Africa. I was looking to have some fun and meet, like, and have a good time. But the truth is this: most men, I'm not saying all men. I know there are men who are just exclusively wanting one night stands. And there are men who are just exclusively dating for marriage. Yeah, not really. Nobody is. Nobody wants that. But most men will tell you this: we're open-minded. And you got to be open-minded too. Because if you tell a man, you're like, look, I'm done playing games. This is like every bitter woman.
Not a bad thing to
this is
say,
like every bitter woman who's gonna stay alone forever. Is like, well, here's how they behave. They're all like, I'm done. I'm past the stage of playing
Is it a bad thing to say
yes,
that?
Absolutely, it's a terrible thing. Biggest boner kill ever. Biggest turnoff. Do not tell a man, what are your intentions? I'm looking for something serious. You're serious all the time. You're so serious, okay? Give me a break. Like, throw that out the window. A man is going to become serious with you when you get off his back and have a nice time. Now, I'm not saying you have to endanger yourself. I'm not saying you have to do something you don't feel comfortable doing. If you don't want to sleep with a man, before you're ready, don't do that. If you definitely don't want to have sex without protection, don't do that. I'm not saying any of those things. What I am saying is that the main reason our relationship succeeded, is because we kept things light.
We just go with the flow.
We went with the flow. And we got married in just over a year after meeting. And I wasn't serious. Best one night stand of my life. You know what I'm saying? So,
It is something
ladies,
you're supposed to
be
say.
open-minded to just going out. Don't put too much stress. Don't put too much pressure and expectations. Don't do basically what all the blogs written by lonely, depressed Western women write about. Don't listen to anything they say. Go
Just
on the
be
date.
you.
Be
Just
open.
be
Be
you.
you.
Just be more open-minded.
And
Be
here's the
you.
thing. If you meet a guy and the first date was like, okay, nice. Maybe it's nice. Maybe it's okay. You're not sure if he's like the love of your life, the man of your dreams. Give him another chance. Go out a second time. Don't worry about doing anything physical or something like that.
Yeah.
People need time to get to know each other and to feel comfortable. Not everyone is outgoing. Not everybody experiences a complete absence of social anxiety. A man who flies to Africa or is already based, or is coming to Africa and looking to date, he's not necessarily some super uber confident guy. He might actually be very shy as well. For him, he's investing a lot of time and money in coming. He also wants things to work out, and that also could put a lot of pressure on him. He might feel very nervous as well. Just because someone is nervous or someone is unsure and maybe a bit like, just shy or something on a first date doesn't mean it's like definitely a no. So I would definitely say keep things light, keep things fun. Don't put too much pressure on them. Don't put lots of expectations and saying my man's got to do this, my man's got to do that. Because I'll tell you the truth is that men with options, men with real options, men with money, men with like features won't put up with that shit. Period.
All right. Okay. So I'm still talking about dating sites. You're still talking about the tips. Anyways,
Yeah.
so just
They're all the same.
So let's just start from how do you even build your profile to make it like
for women?
a good profile
Okay.
for you to attract the right person.
All right. First of all, okay, here's the first thing, okay? First of all, if you're going to use filters, don't make it look too obvious, okay? Listen, it's 2024. I get it. Every lady's fake. She's fake too. Yeah.
Fake?
You're fake. Yeah, absolutely. Your profile pictures were fake, 100%. Your skin tone was much lighter in your profile pictures. It wasn't the camera, it was your filters, okay? I'm just calling her out. This is honest talk, okay? But here's the reality. Here's what a man wants. A man knows that your profile pictures are likely fake. Most of the time, when I would go on a date with a girl in my history, if she looked 70% like her profile pictures, that was a win. Okay? Because we live in an age of digital fakery. And if you go, he knows you're using filters, but he doesn't want to know. Okay? So first thing is this. If you're going to use filters, keep it classy, ladies. Okay? Second thing is this. Don't put pictures of like silly like cat ears, or like funny noses, or like I'm telling you, like you look retarded.
Funny emojis.
Look retarded. Funny emojis and stuff. I'm telling you, look like you're 12. And listen, a man is not. It's not just about whether he thinks you're cute. It's about, especially if you want something long term and possibly to even move to his country eventually. The reality is this: he's gonna want to see that you can really fit with him. Okay, can you really fit? Can you adapt? Are you able to even, really make it in a different country? Or do you belong to wherever you come from? So like none of this like overuse of filters. Don't use any of these like silly, I look so cute with these like silly emoji. No, you don't. No photos of yourself drinking, like blocking out your face with a cup. No. And the biggest thing, no up close photos of your nyash. Do not hoe around. Even if a man
send a wrong picture.
Listen, if a man totally wants a lady in the street but a freak in the bed. Okay, that's for sure. And a man, obviously, it's good to have photos of your figure, 100%. This is biology. Like I'm also given the right time of the day, I'm also a bit like
What does that mean?
like my animalistic doggy horny sound. Okay. But I'll tell you this, is that when I see pictures of women, I'll stand up and do it. And they're like, I can't even do it because I don't have much of a butt. But they're like, they're like, all this stuff. I'm telling you, you're just like, this lady's giving that shit away. She's just giving that shit to everybody. Even if you have, listen, every woman's got a dating past. Well,
It depends what your intentions are.
Everyone's got a past.
Look at them.
Everyone has got a past, okay? It's okay. You're not a priceless virgin, or whatever. And like you've been with guys, maybe you were with another guy last week or yesterday or whatever. Listen, it's the same thing. Every man knows that you have a past and you've been with other men before. They just don't want to think about it. They want it to be like, too obvious. So first rule of online dating, besides all that filtered junk and all that stuff, don't look like a hoe.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
And
If you really want a serious thing.
No, I'll be very serious with you guys, you ladies, okay? Ladies and, obviously the men. In Africa, like, especially where I think that what people want is much more on the surface. I think in Western countries, people are a bit more reserved about what their true desires are, is that it's much more acceptable here to look like a hoe on social media and get props for it.
Really?
Absolutely.
Everywhere. Especially
look at all the social media. Look at all the social media stars you look at. That like you're like following.
I mean, it's something that they're borrowing from the Western
like 15,
culture.
No.
Yes.
Maybe like Black American culture.
No. Hey, even white culture.
It's not. I'm telling you, here's the difference. If you're looking for a man who's got the resources to be able to travel, who's cultured enough to think outside of his area code, okay, who's like been on an airplane before and has got stable employment and is successful. That's not the demographic we're talking about.
Right.
Okay? If you're looking for like you want a guy from the hood, and like come on, like you want a guy from the hood, if you want to emulate these chicks who are like, dying 5 days after BBL surgery, like because they got it from some like guy on the street, like some Cuban guy in Miami or something, like I mean that's one type of demographic, but I'm telling you, those are typically not the guys who are even interested in considering going to Africa. Why should they? There's black chicks in America. There's tons of they can go to the Caribbean and meet like a nice black woman. They can go to South America. They can go to Brazil. They don't need to come to Africa. So if you're looking for a guy who's likely to come and who I'm telling you, they're not into that. Okay, and you shouldn't be into that either because it's not. You're not gonna go to his country and then fit in any more normal, classy way by like being a hoe. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that's about dating sites. And another thing, another thing with ladies. I mean, don't be too cool. Of course, you meet these people on dating site, you match and all that. But the real deal is that it's not all about the facial expression or the photos. It's about when you chat with this person. Is when you know what kind of a person are you getting yourself into, or what kind of a person is this person, right? Exactly. Yes.
No, you have to get on the phone as soon as possible.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The photos lie. Right. Until you chat with this person or you call or whatever, is when you know what kind of a person. Belly. What kind of a person is this person, So I mean, for me, people who don't wanna do video calls, on the like even not even the first day, even the second day, even within the 1 week, they don't want to do video calls because they're like, oh, I'm not ready yet. Because I'm like, what are you ready for? Because it's just a video call, you already took pictures. So what are you there for you to hide? You understand?
Listen, if you meet a man who's not, look, I'll tell you this. A man, you want a man who's gonna be a man. It doesn't matter what his skin color is. It doesn't matter. You want a man who's got like a masculine demeanor. Okay, that's biology. Okay, and you can have that amongst African men, Middle Eastern men, European men, all these different things. The reality is that if a man is like gets on a call and is like not initiating next steps, if he's not initiating next steps and he's not and the next step you could say after chatting a bit on a text is obviously in the app is to have a video call. That's the reality. If he's not willing to do that, he's hiding something very, very big. No excuses. My camera broke. Okay, get on a Zoom. Google Meet, Teams,
anything.
A million things, a million app, WhatsApp video, on your computer or whatever. And so the reality is that they're also one of the things that African women need to understand is that in most European and like let's say Western countries, there's been a real emasculation of men. A lot of men these days are big pussies. Okay. Big pussies. Big pussies. Okay? And maybe one of the reasons why they're even interested in international dating is because they're too big of pussies to even get a woman in their own country. Okay? They can't get women in their own country because they're pussies. Okay? And they want to go to a geography where they get more attention because they look different. Okay? And so, like, I'm not saying every man's like that, not whatsoever, but if a man's not taking next steps with you and is like giving you, making it difficult to get on a video call, well, don't give him excuses. He's just don't get me wrong. I love the P. I love it very much, but not when it's describing a man. Okay, a man. You want a man to lead and guide. Because I'll tell you, if you move to his country with him, if you move eventually, he's going to need to lead and guide you in lots of different things. An immigration process, finding employment, maybe learning a new language. He's going to be your guide.
Yeah.
If you've got to like cover for him and kind of guide him, and you don't even know what's going on, like in a different part of the world, it's a very, very dangerous situation. He's got to take a lot, to a certain extent, when you bring any partner over to your country, it doesn't matter if it's a husband or a wife or a man or woman. It's like you are kind of like taking on a lot of excess responsibility that you don't have in a normal relationship with someone from your country.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's not going on the video call, odds are he lied about his photos.
That's a red flag. He's actually hiding something. He doesn't look like his photos.
Or he's very worried about rejection. But here's the point. It's also kind of like, how do we meet? I was in Kenya.
Immediately. If you don't like me, okay.
I was in Kenya. I was on the way to Mombasa with my friend. I matched with Tracy the day I got to Mombasa. We met up the next day. I wasn't fooling around. Like what? If I wasn't coming to Mombasa for like a week, I got 6 days to match with some chick in Mombasa. Yeah. I'm not gonna match with someone in Mombasa a week before and like chat, and try to get to know them, just for them to ghost me, or I'm gonna ghost them.
Still not bad. Even a week, still not bad.
I would never do this, ladies. a real man on an app. You're gonna message back like 2-3 times. He doesn't ask for his phone number. I'm telling you, I'm a bit older. I'm like, not Gen Z, okay? but I'm telling you, like my whole thing on dating apps was like after 3 messages, like I'm going for the number, and if not, I'm like, peace.
Okay, on to another tip. Okay, for me, I find it awkward and weird for women to ask for money immediately when you just match with this guy. You've known each other for a week. You already start asking for money. For me, I think it's odd. Not unless the guy wants to send you money without you asking. But for me, I think
huge red flag.
I think
don't accept money. Don't accept the money from a man you've never met before. Nothing is free, ladies.
What?
Nothing is free.
If you're given something.
No. There's no such thing as a free lunch. No. A man is going to volunteer.
Being given without asking, I don't see any problem.
There's a huge problem with
that. But then asking for it, I think that's a red flag. That's a red flag for men.
Okay, I'll put it this way, ladies. I know this is like a different mentality. I realize the economic situation in Africa is very precarious, and a lot of people are just doing what they can to survive, and I don't blame anyone for that. Not everybody has an education. Not everyone is able to get opportunities. There's mass unemployment. I get all that, but I'm telling you is that if one of the first things you do is you ask for money, and in exchange for a relationship, you're a prostitute, you're a hoe.
Yeah.
Okay, and this man might give you the money, especially because if he wants to keep you in his on mind, he wants to keep you available for him if he comes to Africa.
And then once you meet, he disappears.
He's gonna hit it and quit it. Okay, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, ladies. Okay, is that obviously a man who's coming to Africa understands that, okay, I'm coming and I'm inviting someone out. This isn't just about going to Africa. I mean, obviously, if I'm inviting a woman out on a date, I want to pay for it because I'm inviting the woman out. That's the way I was raised, and that's how it is. It also means that with that mentality, though, if I'm the one, if I know that when I invite a woman out, I've got to pay for the date, it also means I'm going to be extremely exclusive with who I date because dating is expensive.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to be going out with 5-10 different women. And so if I get the slightest hint of a red flag from a woman, maybe I'm being used, maybe I'm being manipulated, I'm going to back out because I do want to invest in someone, because I do want someone to invest in specifically. The reality is this. I realize that, and people have told me this before, in African culture, the man will just give you money. Well, guess what? It's that culture exists because that culture exists because you're poor. You're poor. That's why it exists. Okay? In a country where not everyone is poor.
Yes, it's a cultural thing.
No, it's not a cultural thing. No, it's not at all. It's not a cultural. It's because you're poor, and because if someone has got slightly more resources than the next person, it's a major flex. Okay? It's a major advantage because you want a man who can provide resources.
Men are also taught to always take the responsibilities.
But only very few men.
I understand, but for you, your culture is way different.
No, it's not way different.
For us, it's a man takes all the responsibility.
And what percentage of men in Africa do you think actually do that? As opposed to the culture where African men are leaving their baby mamas, not doing anything. The reason that culture, the expectation of money, is creating a situation where only wealthiest of men, or the top 1% or 10%, are the ones who get all the women because everyone's dating the same guys. Okay?
I mean, I have a different feeling with that. Please, if you disagree, please comment below. Because
I know,
for me, a man being responsible. I mean, your culture is way different.
No,
I understand
it's not
for
very
you,
different. It's not.
for you, a woman has to contribute. I mean, like if you go for it, a woman
Everywhere.
has to contribute. Yeah, and the African culture, I understand they have that a man has to take all the the men who like giving, the men who like naturally
it's not true.
Giving.
It's never been
That's why
that
they
way.
like treating women.
First of all, the concept of money, like currency, only was brought to Africa like 100 years ago. Okay, before that, everybody had their role. Men may have done one set of one set of things on the farm or like the homestead and stuff. Women had other responsibilities. Even in the United States and Europe, where people have this fantasy of we're all going to go back to this traditional wife thing, where like women just stay at home and take the kids and microwave the food and all these. This existed for like 10 years in the United States. This traditional.
But anyway, doesn't mean I totally agree with this, because for me, I want to be in this kind of relationship that I can also contribute. You understand? I contribute to something
in this day and age.
Yeah. Because if I don't, I feel inferior. I feel like
you would be.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, yeah, if a man calls you on a date and is paying for that day, don't ask for transport fee. Don't ask for like I need money for Uber.
If you can't afford, I'm telling you, if you really
even pay for Uber one more time, for
if
the
I'm
two
coming,
of you.
listen, if I'm coming, and I understand I'm inviting you on the date. I understand I'm gonna pay you for a nice meal, 100%, more than happy to. But if you can't do the bare minimum to pay for your matatu ride or your Uber ride and everything, you know what it tells me? It tells me I'm not valuable. It tells me I'm being used because you won't put forth any investment.
Yeah, it's true.
No investment, or like even if I'm taking on like a luxury, and this is what actually happened with us. Even if I'm like paying for we're going to lovely weekend in Danny Beach, and I've got a rental car, and I've got like paying for a nice place, all these different things. It'd be nice if you paid for my ice cream. Yeah. Pay for my ice cream. Yeah. It's not about the amount. It's about that you're thinking about me and the different.
True, yeah.
Because I'll also tell you this, first of all, you don't really want to make big investments in people you don't really know yet. Everybody, and also a man wants to be generous. I actually want to be generous. You want to be generous, you have to be able to come up with ideas yourself. But if a woman comes and starts making demands, then the man is not. Even if a man gives you the money, he's not being generous. He's just acceding to your demands, and it sets a very, very bad precedent. And so men this is something that does not happen very much in Western culture. Women do not ask for money. Okay? Women have jobs in Western countries. Women have their own money. Okay? Maybe men have more, maybe men have less. There's definitely much more equality. And so we're much more used to the idea of a woman's going to want to be with me for me. Now, let's get back to reality. Of course, women want rich guys. Of course, women want men. Give me a break. Everybody wants a rich guy. Everyone wants rich guys. Everyone wants money, all these different things. Right. If you get into a real relationship with that guy and you're he really loves you and you really love him, you will have those activities. Men will contribute those things, but early on, just asking for money just for the sake of it, or my brother's kids need their school fees. Not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. I had a case actually before I met Tracy. I went out with a Kenyan woman, and we had a nice time, all these different things. And she went off at the end of the date. She told me that in Kenyan culture, it's very common, men will give their girlfriends or women they're dating money at the money as a gift and stuff. And I said, that's nice. I was like, okay, I'm not doing that tonight. And then she kind of insisted on it. And I was like, I told her straight up, I was like, no, that's called prostitution. Okay? And then she got really upset. And she was like, well, actually, she actually told me this. She was like, listen, my brother's kids need school fees, and he asked me for help. I don't have any way to help him. I'm like, I met you twice. This isn't my problem. It's not my problem. And the fact that you're asking me for this after 2 dates mean use a hoe. I said that, use a hoe. And here's the thing. I'm not saying she doesn't actually have a financially difficult situation. I'm not saying that just because I'm a wealthier man, and just because I'm white, and just because I have the money to travel and live in my own apartment and do the things I want to do, does not mean that the whole world is my charity case. I give to charity. I support people. There are causes I contribute to, very generously. I'm happy to also contribute to helping people in my own family or my wife's family who need help in certain cases. And because I have those responsibilities and I take those responsibilities seriously, that means everybody else in the world I have to say no to. I have to say no to the homeless guy in the street. I have to say no to all the time.
Has responsibility.
Because
it's not a must you help this person. And
no,
someone should not.
But it's obnoxious because it's like it's obnoxious because it's like, you know, when you can tell everything's just about the money, it's just going to kill everything. So like I'm telling, so ladies, listen, if you really are looking for a man to, like, you know, fund your life and stuff, you're a prostitute, and just go be a hoe. Go on OnlyFans. Okay, seriously, go to OnlyFans, go to the clubs, go to the clubs, meet some old white guy who's willing to give you, you know, $10K for a shot or something. Seriously, just be a hoe.
Have you done this? Did you not even know the prices?
Yeah, right. I mean, you tell me the prices. Her friends are into that stuff.
I don't know my friends anymore.
I know. I mean, you see on Instagram these days, like, hiring OnlyFans models. I mean, here's the reality.
Yeah.
If you want a relationship,
where's the world heading to?
If you want a relationship, if you want to find true love, you want a relationship that's not going to last 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. You want someone that's you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. If that's what you really want, don't be a hoe. Because if you want to be a hoe, there are a lot of ways to make money as a hoe. And even if I disagree with it, go you do you. Go on OnlyFans. Go to all these different. Because I'll tell you this: like, just because you are dating a guy and in the early stages of dating, you went on a few dates with a guy, and maybe you slept with him once, or maybe you didn't sleep with him, and he's like, you know, he's giving you money and everything. It doesn't mean you're not a hoe. It just means you're like a slow hoe. Because at least the fast hoe is gonna like just make that stuff online fast and, you know, cut straight to the chase. But like, if you look, even if a man is also giving you very expensive presents very early on, he's deeply insecure. Something's very wrong with him. He really wants your approval too badly. He's not a real man. Big presents will come after you've taken big steps in a relationship. Okay? Like, this is an expensive little gift. Okay? Trust me. Okay? Like, you'll get that if you show that you're, like, really worthy of love. And that goes back to the point of, like, what do you want? Are you looking for just a white guy to, like, you know, fund your life and kind of have some fun for a couple weeks or a couple months? Or are you looking for, like, a real relationship, you know? And so, and I understand if you do have a real serious monetary need, like you're really struggling, you're having trouble. You know a white man who's like, or let's say a Western man can actually do for you? He can provide career guidance. He can, like, you know, give you other kinds of ideas and access to resources. You know, maybe I'll tell you one thing that, like, you know, what we did early on in our relationship, because I did want to, before we were just in the stages of dating, this had no strings attached.
Yeah.
We had no strings attached. We didn't know what we were going to do with our relationship. But one of the things that I did for Tracy, because I really wanted to help her advance in life, was I bought her a computer. Because I wanted to be able to facilitate her, you know, first of all, ability to work online, do things like this with, like, YouTube and stuff that she wanted to do. And I understand that having a computer is expensive. It's not something that you just have capital to do. And if you like, you can have a conversation with a man you're dating in the early stage, not so early, not like after 2-3 dates. You can have a conversation about things that you're doing. You can, if you're humble, if you have a reason for it, if you say, listen, like, you know, I know we're not there yet. I know we're early in our stages of dating, but, you know, I'm looking to advance myself in life. I really have a lot of ideas. You know, I'm really looking to buy, like, a secondhand computer or something. If you'd be willing to, like, help me with that, I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd even be willing to loan me the money for that, I'd be willing to even pay you back. You know, because people are looking for investments. You know, people are looking to. In my relationship with Tracy is all about me investing in her because it's an investment in ourselves.
Great. So on to another thing I was trying to say. It was flashing my mind and then just disappeared.
Oh yeah, here's another thing. Tell the man to put it on your profile that you have a job.
That's very important. Even if you don't have a job?
No, if you don't I'll say this, if you don't have a job, you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah,
don't date. You don't have your life together. You're not a serious person. Mm-hmm. You're like,
that's true. You're
not a serious person. And I'm sorry, ladies, but, like, I sell clothes on Instagram. It's not a job. Okay? I makeup. Not a job. Okay. Like, makeup artist. I make girls really pretty. Are you kidding? Oh my God! You see these girls on apps, and they're like have like come like 2 inches of makeup on their face. I'm a beauty specialist. Okay.
But that's a job. That's a job. That's a real job.
No,
It pays bills. It does.
For some
pay
people,
bills.
but here's the thing. I'll tell you, a man can also tell, an educated man, an educated Western man can also tell if it's a real job or not. Why? Because maybe they can look at your Instagram, they can see if you have a website, they can see if you're like actually serious. If it's just like, I did this for my cousin's wedding and she gave me 100 shillings. Like, if you don't have a job, the truth is this: if you don't have a job, you're not making it on your own. Focus on yourself. Because I'm telling you, the white man will not come and save you. He will not come save you. A white man can come and waste your time, waste your money, but at the time you go out having fun with the white guy, and he's buying you drinks and doing all these different things, was also time you could have spent improving yourself, particularly if that white guy wasn't so serious. You can't just expect that like every white guy is like, oh yeah, you think it's so easy to manipulate the white guy, or like, oh, I can get him to love me or something. White guys can come and like manipulate you too. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. On to the last thing I can say is not all the relationships are the same. There's a lot of peer pressure out here. This is what my boyfriend did me. He did for me. He took me to Dubai. This is what my boyfriend did to me. He bought me an iPhone 15. Every relationship is different. You understand? The fact that this relationship is this how don't pressure your man, because other to be like other relationship.
You really want to find a good man. You got one of the best character traits you can find in a man is find a man that knows how to save that money. True. He knows how to save that money.
Yeah,
find a man who says no to you. Find a man who knows how to say no. iPhone 15. Are you retarded? Bitch, are you retarded? iPhone 15 is like $2,000 in Kenya, or $1,500 or something. You can get an amazing smartphone for like less than $200. Okay? Like, if you find a man who's dumb enough, like to buy you, who barely knows you, an iPhone 15, I'm telling you, this guy's a loser. It's a loser. Buy him a car. He's gonna buy me a car. Like, all these women asking for cars don't even know how to drive. I'm telling you, find a man who's, first of all, like, willing to say no.
Building a future with you.
Building a future.
Yeah.
Who makes good decisions. Because I'll tell you,
yeah.
that guy who was like giving you everything you wanted and all your wonderful needs, well, guess what? When you're married and you guys have a family together, you're gonna see he's a horrible spender. You're gonna see he's got lots of debt. Yeah. Maybe he has money to come and visit you in Kenya, but maybe he has like 200,000 euros worth of debt back home, and he's just living off credit card payments. So just because a guy is willing to throw that money around doesn't mean he's actually rich. It just means he's an idiot.
Hey guys.
So ladies, come on, sing with me. Save that money. Yeah, I'm gonna save that money. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we've come to the end of our video. Didn't expect it to be this long, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video to the end. And tell me if these tips are really helping you, and give me the comments, or what else did you not say? Just put in the comments below. What do
Tracy and I really want? We want you to have a good, stable relationship.
Yeah.
Because there's too much instability. There's too many games with dating these days. There's too much insecurity. There are too many baby mamas out there who don't have, husbands, and there's too many absentee fathers. There are too many women glorifying prostitution. And the reality is that the building blocks of society are two-parent households. Okay? A mother and a father who love each other very much, who can raise their families and grow together.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what we want to help you do. Okay? Because anything less than that, it might be an experience, but you're still just a hoe. So,
Anyway, guys, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye.
Bye. See you.